Okay, so the first post that I'm going to go through is something that I think is super important for us to focus on if we're trying to improve our health overall, in general, just because of the way that we live today compared to the way we traditionally live. So we tend to live more indoors. We tend to purchase our food from places that it has been grown further away. So this topic is probiotics and bacteria. So I'm sure you've heard about it. Everyone's like, it's a key thing, a trendy thing, probiotics. So what are probiotics? So probiotic means probacteria. So pro and biotic means bacteria. So one of the main questions I always ask people, I ask people when I start to work with them is, are you taking probiotics? And a lot of people say, well, I eat yogurt, and that's awesome if you make your yogurt at home because nowadays everything's pasteurized. So in the olden days, we preserved our milk, which was raw before it was pasteurized, by we would drink it, and then when it was starting to go bad, we would create yogurt because that would extend the shelf life by another few weeks. Nowadays, our milk from the beginning is pasteurized. So pasteurization means it's flash heated. So it's flash heated to kill the bacteria. And that's not just done with milk. That's all juices, pretty much, sauces, soups, canned vegetables, alcohol, things like that. Pretty much everything is pasteurized that has like a liquid-like base. Other products, there's other ways of kind of sterilizing them, like irradiation and we're not going to get to that. So yogurt is created nowadays with pasteurized milk, and depending on the company, it will put in 1 to 2 strains, 1 to 3, I don't know, it depends on the company, of active bacteria. When you make yogurt at home from raw milk, it's going to have 48, 50, 60, depending on what type of yogurt you're making, how long you fermented it, the environment that you fermented it in. So the difference there. So when we buy it at the store, it's going to have anywhere from 1 to 5 strains. I don't know, they're coming out with ones that have more now, and then if you make it at home, just like if you ferment things naturally at home, or brew kombucha or brew your alcohol, things like that, it's going to have upwards of 48 strains of active bacteria. So that's a huge difference there. Our body there's bacteria everywhere. There's bacteria on the outside, there's bacteria on the inside. We can't sterilize it. It's impossible. So it's important for us to keep a balance of bacteria. So that's giving it all the different strains of bacteria so it can remain in balance. Okay. So what I'm going through is actually my post on my website, which is going to be linked below. The title of the post is called, "Do you take a probiotic supplement? Do you eat enough probiotic foods?" So some people like to take a pill, other people don't. So there's obviously options there. When you buy a probiotic supplement, you're going to be getting, so there's the amount of different strains, and then there's the quantity of those strains. So when you buy a probiotic supplement, you can get high quantity of specific strains, and specific strains will be more beneficial for specific situations. Like a lot of the top probiotic supplements actually have things called human strains. So they've actually extracted bacteria from a healthy colon, dehydrated it, and then we take it. So it's kind of funny, but so you're getting some like really healthy poo. But when you're eating something that's naturally fermented, you're just going to be getting an abundance of many strains. Then it's up to you how much of that you consume to get more of each of those strains. So which one's better? I don't know. I personally would like to eat my bacteria, but at the same time, certain times of the year I actually do take an insurance. So this isn't an ad or anything, but this is one that I take. It's by Living Alchemy. I don't know if you can see that, but the reason I like it has 35 strains. but it's also with aloe vera, slippery elm, and marshmallow root. So yeah, it's just really soothing on the gut, and that those marshmallow, slippery elm are kind of like prebiotic. They feed the bacteria, and yeah, it's just a really good supplement. But so we'll get to that in a minute. Hopefully this isn't all over the place. This is one of my first videos here. Okay, so if you don't want to take a supplement, which maybe if you've never taken a probiotic supplement and you don't eat probiotic foods, buying a quality supplement may be a good place to start. Just go through one bottle, and as you're trying to incorporate more probiotic foods, some probiotic foods are not foods that people enjoy. They tend to be a little bit more sour, tangy. They could be more of acquired taste. So maybe as you're trying to incorporate more of those foods into your diet, you take a probiotic supplement on the side. So other ways we can gain a wide variety of bacteria is fermenting, sprouting, pickling, all these things that we can do at home. So it can be as easy as buying a naturally fermented pickle from the grocery store. A lot of the grocery stores now have that. And when you have the leftover liquid, just pop in some more vegetables, pop in some carrots, pop in some cucumbers, leave it in your fridge for a few weeks, and actually will start to pickle. Obviously you can also look up on the internet in recipes on how to pickle at home from like making your own brine. But then you can also, if you don't feel like doing these things at home, you can go hit up your farmers markets, you can hit up your health food stores. A lot of the grocery stores, like especially the Loblaws superstores, have like the natural sections where they have a huge selection of like artisanal made, kimchi, sauerkrauts, like pickled beans, things like that. Another really common and very accessible, now even found at Shoppers Drug Mart, Costco, Metro, all these places, is kombucha. So I'm actually drinking it right now. So it's a fermented tea. I had grapefruit juice in there. It was just in my glass and I poured it on top. That's why there's weird chunks in there. But this is a brand that is found at most of the grocery stores and Shoppers Drug Marts. Tonica. It's very delicious. It's made in Toronto. So yeah, for people who are not from Toronto, they're not going to see this brand. This is a Toronto brand. But it's a very yummy brand. I think the other common brand that's found at Costco is GT. As long as it's raw and unpasteurized, kombucha, this will be a source of multiple strains of bacteria. If it's pasteurized, then that it won't be. So keep that in mind. You can also make kombucha at home. Okay, so here are some tips for increasing the amount of probiotic and strains and enzymes available to your body. So swap out Bics pickles. Those are pasteurized for artisanal pickle brands. There's a brand at Metro now called Marty's Pickles. Swapping out French's mustard and those other like generic mustard brands for ones that are made at the grocery store, at butcher shops. Generally they'll be Dijon. Find raw kombucha like that. Make living sprouts at home or find them in the produce section, the like alfalfa sprouts and things like that. And a lot of them have like pea shoots and sunflower shoots and stuff like that now. You can buy raw apple cider vinegar, which you can use to make your own salad dressings. So swap out those Kraft and other shelf dressings because those are not living or anything. Usually those have poor quality of oil too, so keep that in mind. Swap out Billy B pasteurized honey for a local raw honey. Swap out VH and other pasteurized soy sauces for a naturally fermented soy sauce, which will normally be called tamari. You can find this at Bulk Barns, Costco's, health food stores. And here are some foods that you can incorporate into your, try to find locally. Miso, which is a fermented soybean paste, and sometimes it's made from chickpea and rice. They also offer that now for people who don't like soy. Soy will have more protein though. Nutritional yeast, which is like a yellow, fluffy shavings, looks like kind of like hamster dust. Smells like cheese though, and it tastes delicious, and us hippies call it nooch. It's dehydrated yeast, and it's full of B vitamins. You can buy raw organic nuts and seeds, and then you can bring them back to life by soaking them in water, and they'll get a little tail, just like legumes as well. So the idea is you swap out more of the products in your home, like that are kind of dead, like they're not living, and you bring in these ones that are actually living. Oh, here's a picture of that pickle brand that they have at Metro now. Okay, so why are we doing this? So most of our immune system is actually in our digestive system. So bacteria is what fight pathogens, other invading bacteria. Viruses, they prevent food poisoning. So think of people you know or yourself. Do you get food poisoning frequently? Do you feel sick frequently? Do you does certain foods nauseate you? When you go away on a trip, do you tend to get that the traveler's bug? How often does that happen to you? When was the last time you took antibiotics? Every time you take antibiotics, it's really important to follow with foods that are filled with bacteria. So you take antibiotics, maybe buy a couple kombuchas afterwards. Oh my gosh, my throat's shaking. So absorption of our food. Digestion first. So bacteria actually activate enzymes and balance our pH in our digestive process. So there's certain vitamins and minerals, so it's absorption as well. Certain vitamins and minerals that actually need to be converted or fermented in our colon. So B12 is an example of that, and vitamin K is an example of that. So if we do not have adequate bacteria in our colon, we physically cannot create those vitamins. So are you frequently deficient in B12? Do you need to get B12 shots? Is your bone density low? Are you low in vitamin D frequently, and calcium? So again, vitamin D, calcium, and vitamin K they work together. It could be because that you don't have the quite balance of bacteria in your colon to ferment those vitamins into the active form that they need for absorption. So detox. Bacteria also help us detoxify via our bowel movements. So do you move your bowels every day? Is every day feel like a fresh start, or does yesterday still linger? So here are some tips to achieve balanced bacteria. So bacteria can be found in artisanal products that are handmade, and not have mass produced. So just like the tips above that I was saying, the swap throughs, they tend to be a little bit more expensive, but they're more nutritious and they tend to taste a lot better. So that's awesome. So we can eat fresh from the source. So like gardens, farms, we can sprout things at home. We can buy food from neighboring people who are growing food. We can walk barefoot outside. That is something I love. No shoes. We can cuddle with an outdoor pet. I'm just gonna give a moment to just show you a picture of like the cutest cat alive. That's my cat. We can cuddle with outdoor pets. We can consume a probiotic supplement, and also in my post I provided a link for how to choose the best probiotic supplement depending on what you're specifically looking for. So to ensure that the bacteria that we put into our body lives, we need to make sure that we have adequate fiber and antioxidants for it to grow. So consume a lot of fruits and vegetables, whole grains, so like oatmeals, sprouted grains, fresh sprouts, things like chia seeds, ground flax. I don't even think this is recording. Oh no, it is. Okay. Whew. Can you imagine? Anyways, so these are some times to specifically think about probiotics. So if you're frequently ill, you have allergic reactions to foods or other food sensitivities, you have gas, bloating, trouble digestion, low energy, unexplained imbalance and dysfunction, you can't figure out why. After you have a dose of prescribed antibiotics, if you eat a lot of antibiotic trace foods, so that's like meat, dairy, eggs, even tap water to a certain extent, these foods, specifically those animal foods, those animals are given antibiotics periodically because they're confined in such small spaces. So that actually is stored in the fat, and then we end up getting that. Tap water, they say there's antibiotic traces, just because people who take antibiotics then pee. So we get it, unfortunately. Low carbohydrate diet, low fiber diet, consumption of alcohol, smoking, and tendency to make everything antibacterial. So, you know, using hand sanitizer a lot, like those sprays all over your house, things like that. These are some times that it's really important to think about bacteria and probiotics. So like the overarching theme of this entire video and this post is that it's important for us to try to incorporate living foods, so higher frequency foods, foods that are closer to when they were just picked from the ground, picked from the earth, opposed to more processed, because we are gaining less energy and less active ability from those foods. So yeah, hope you enjoyed the video, and